Wait, that's not the usual gun you shoot with, right?
What?
That's not the usual gun you've always shot with?
What do you mean?
That's a new gun?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're buying things for. I didn't know you got a new hunting one.
Alright, the following video you are going to watch is my shooting day. After setting up my rifle, I'm going to go break it in and shoot the loads I developed as well. So I just bought some factory ammo just off the shelf to break in the barrel. And I don't know how legitimate breaking in the barrel is or not. There's websites that say to follow certain processes, and some other articles I've read where guys done tests and they don't think it really matters at all. So I don't know. And shot a bunch, just about 20 or 30 rounds, just to kind of break it in, clean it out, let it cool down, and then start shooting my reloads. So go ahead and watch the video, and at the end I'll show you what my results were, some changes I made, and the buck I ended up shooting up in Idaho, which was pretty fun. So I'm actually not happy with the results I ended up getting out of the 150 grain long range Jacquemont made by Nosler. There were some good groupings, but after I shot these groups that I'm about to show you, that I'm showing you here, I went out to verify because I ended up choosing 56 grains of H1000, and I got some more variableness. I could not produce those groups again, and so trying to think of what it is. Is it me? Is it the bullet? I've actually had a hard time tuning the Nosler bullets. I just feel like I have that. It's kind of been an uphill battle trying to get them shooting really well. I've had the same issue out of my 300 Win Mag with a 210 grain long range Jacquemonts, and I ended up just shooting 210 Burgers. They're just great bullets, and I feel like there's not as much tuning needed for them, and I got really good groupings with those on the 300 Win Mag. And so luckily I was able to quickly find some 140 grain VLD hunting Burger bullets and ordered them, worked up a couple loads, and went out and shot them, and was very impressed by the groupings, the consistency, and everything. So I went with what I felt comfortable going into the field with, and the groupings are a lot better, as you can see. So I'm super happy that I made that shift. I don't know if I'm going to keep these 150 grain long range Jacquemons or if I'm just going to sell them. I just can't seem to get them to work as well as the Burgers on any of the reloading that I've been doing. So I might keep them and find some different powder that Nosler would recommend, because the H1000 is not their #1 powder. I think Ramshot Magnum is their number one, their most accurate powder they've tested for that bullet. So I may just try to find some of that, but that's a very hard powder to find right now. So I don't know, but for right now, I'm extremely happy with 140 grain burger bullets. They're very accurate, and they, when I shot my deer, one shot and it was done. Now, before I tell you how my hunt went, I also want to clarify how I set up my rifle. I zero my rifle at 100 yards, and then I create a dope chart with all the ballistics and the drop needed, or the how many clicks. The scope I use is the Brownell's MPO, and it is an MRAD scope, so I dial accordingly to the different yardages that I'm at. So I zero at 100. My velocity with this round that I ended up going with the 140 burgers was 2,861 feet per second is what it averaged out to be, which I feel like is really good, and I'm really happy with that. Man, we found a good 3x3 buck on, that's what, the second day we were there, on an evening hunt, and spotted him about 650 yards away. I didn't have a steady shot at that point. I didn't feel comfortable shooting this deer at that distance where we were. The conditions just weren't right. I did not have a good spot to make a shot and get a steady rest. So we climbed we climbed down the mountain that we were on, down into a ravine, and then up another hill, and got to a high point where I could set my pack on top of some rocks and make a 400-yard shot. So I dialed in that range, and one shot, and just dropped him in his tracks. That bullet performed amazing. Those burger bullets, they go in and about an inch or two, and then they just fragment and just create a lot of damage, and that's exactly what this bullet did. And I hit him right behind the front shoulder, right where I was aiming. It was a perfect shot. I was super happy about it. The buck is a good older 3-point. The genetics for that area just kind of seem to be, there's a lot of 3-points running around. So it's my third year hunting this unit, and I've taken 3 3-points, all of them pretty decent. So, but this has been the biggest of them. Super happy that I had my son with me to experience the whole thing, and to experience me loading up this rifle and finding a good load for it. And I think that's half the fun of this, and I always have to remember that, because as it can be frustrating, it's also fun going through the process, learning your rifle, learning about different bullets and different powder charges, and what your gun's like, and what bullets not to use, and maybe you need different powders or whatever, all the different variables that go into it. This is what makes reloading fun and part of the process. So I hope you've enjoyed my journey on my 6.5 PRC, trying to get it all ready for hunting, and I think I found what I like with everything. So from now on, I'll just do some fun shooting and some fine tuning here and there maybe, and we appreciate you following along and watching.